What's up, guys? You're welcome again. In case you're new, this is Creative Warehouse, powered by Syncraft. All right? So today is going to be slightly different because someone actually DM'd me on Instagram and asked a certain question. And I thought, it'd be nice to answer that on my next episode. So here's the question. Hi, Sammy Joe. You're doing such a great job. Thank you. Please, I'd like to know, what is that one thing that will make my film look cinematic? Rotimi Ogunshade. Thank you, Rotimi, for that question. I'm not exactly sure that it takes just one thing to make your movie look cinematic. There are a couple of things that help to make your film look cinematic. So it's not just one thing. But if you ask me for that one thing that weighs heavier than other things, I'd suggest lighting. I think you need a drum roll for this. Yeah, lighting is that important. You know what? Lighting is one of the key elements to creating a cinematic image. And it's one of the biggest factors that separates amateur looking films from professional looking films. Trust me, guys. When I say lighting, I'm not talking about illumination. I'm not talking about flat lighting. No. I am referring to cinematic lighting. And I know someone would ask, you keep saying cinematic lighting, cinematic lighting. What is this cinematic lighting? In its simplest form, cinematic lighting is light plus shadows. Yeah. Lighting your sets to create a natural feel. Simulating natural lighting. Say for instance, you're lighting a room. You want to simulate natural sunlight pouring in from the window. And here is a practical example. This is a short film I shot and directed for the Tribes Theatre. Look at this kitchen scene. It looks as though there is a sunlight pouring in from the window, illuminating the characters, right? It looks as natural as possible. But guess what? It wasn't any sunlight. As a matter of fact, there was no sunlight that day. So we had to use a 2K light to simulate light pouring in from the window. And if you look at it, you would think that was the only light we used. But guess what, guys? No. We had a top light. We created a soft light with an LED and softened it as much as possible. And on the other side, opposite the lady, we had a bounce board to kind of reflect a bit of light. But the general overall look kind of looks natural. That is cinematic lighting. Look at Demi's face. The sunlight is hitting him from the camera left, and the right part of his face is dark. That's light and shadows. That's what I mean by cinematic lighting. You don't just do flat light and flatten out the entire scene with light. Those don't tell any stories. It is also from cinematic light that you simulate light coming from practicals, such as bedside lamps, office lamps, or even a candle light. Those are not necessary. When you see a candle lighting somebody's face, don't be deceived. It's not the candle that lights the face, but it was simulated to make it look as if it is. Still on the short film cuts. The second example is where the lady is sitting in the bathtub and kind of looking into the air, depressed. And we sort of lit the bathroom, but left the outer door, the room, in darkness, a bit of darkness. And that was very, very deliberate. So as to tell people that it is dark, and it creates some sort of lighting perspective. I hope that helped you, Rotimi. That's all I can say for now about lighting. These things are not rocket science, okay? They require practice and learning. It could take a bit of time, but with practice, you would get there. Right now, if you want to shoot, how about you get a gaffer a professional gaffer who's going to help you out. So that'll be all for today. Catch you next week. If you haven't subscribed on my YouTube channel already, click on that subscribe button below. See you next week and bye.